Hi guys, Ikansh here.
Hi, this is Aditya.
And we also have someone new on the team with us. I'll let them introduce themselves today.
Hi everyone, I'm Anirudh. My background is very similar to Ekansh and Aditya. I completed my MS from India, uh, did a, did 3 years of senior residency here, and then have been working in the UK since the last year as a registrar. Thanks,
Ah,
guys, for having me in.
welcome Anirudh. So we're actually very excited for this particular video. We've actually spent several weeks building up to this, and I think we finally decided that this is probably the right time. We're taking the opportunity of the new year. Hopefully, we can put behind the brilliant year that 2020 has been and usher in something much more settled and productive. We're gonna draw from our own personal experiences through our careers, and we want to share it with you guys. Aditya, you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so this is something that we've been working on, like you said, for the last few weeks, and this is picking up from what we've learned over the few years and what we've experienced over the few years back in India and while in the UK. We're coming up with something very interesting, which we hope will help everybody else around and give everybody a more of an opportunity to have more of a structured way of learning the next year.
All right, so I'm going to start with sharing my screen and all right. So I think we all know everyone who's done medicine or is starting off on their path on medicine or wherever they are on the spectrum. We understand that medicine is a very challenging field. It takes a good 15 to 20 years of your life from the point of conceiving the idea to actually finishing through and being a consultant or being in a leading role. And this whole time period is interspersed with lots of critical decisions that needs to be made. Um, what do you guys say?
Oh, absolutely, I agree with you. And the other thing that it's a difficult maze, like you exactly mentioned, to go through when you're in MBBS, and there are lots of questions, including about what you want to do after your MBBS, and there's a number of people who are confused with respect to what branch you want to take, whether you will be able to get that branch or not, and are there any options to move abroad. And we've all struggled with that. At least I have. What about you, Anirudh?
Yeah, I think I mean, like you guys have said, there are so many choices that you have to make, you know, in those few years, and which can potentially sort of change your life. You know, they can determine where you actually end up. And I think it's very important to have the right information while making such choices, and also to be able to recognize with the right information what opportunities you have, and how you can go about taking those.
The other thing
Absolutely.
that I think is key that you mentioned is getting the right information at the right time. That's very, very important. Just picking up from my own experience when I was in MBBS, the only information I had was that I have to do PG, and if I don't want to do medicine, then I have to give the MLE and get out of the country. That's it.
I think that's with everyone, I guess. We've all been there, we've all experienced it. As you said, I think you're very true. Having the right information at the right time helps you make better decisions. And I think that helps you chart a career path that is conducive and productive. And it makes you aware of what kind of research options you have, what kind of research you can do. It helps you develop your interpersonal skills in a way that it can help you use whatever you've done at that point as a platform to get a jump and do better. And I think deriving from all this is we felt that there are several times you come across situations where you need help. and you don't know where to look for help. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, looking back, I think in hindsight, it's highly beneficial to have someone, who you can get consistent and sort of constructive feedback from. Someone who's been there and done that, so to say. And with the right sort of information, and who can keep you going, keep you motivated, and help you make the right choices.
Absolutely. So moving on, I think this is why this is very exciting for all of us. We've been very, very thrilled. We want to introduce to everyone the mentorship program. Um, the word mentor can mean a lot of things, can stand for a bunch of things for all of us. I think for me, a mentor is someone who can give me practical advice which is suited to my needs. Someone who's, and it's easier to connect with someone who's been there, done that. They can help me chart short term and long term goals, and then kind of maintain a certain amount of accountability to ensure that they're achieved.
I absolutely agree. Like you mentioned, at this point, I would like to say that a mentor can come into your life at any point of time. It doesn't necessarily have to be your teacher. It doesn't necessarily have to be your parents. And if it's one of them, that's great. But it has to be someone who gives you an impartial point of view, and a certain sense of direction as to giving you, which will help you weigh the pros and cons of the different options that you have in your life, so that you can make a more and more informed choice.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And looking back, when I see, although we never sort of have this concept of a formal mentor, but there've been a couple of instances that I can look back to and think that those people and their advice at that point in my career made a huge difference to me. And when I look back and think, I mean, when I joined MS, cracking the entrance exam and thinking, I've that's the end of the world. I've done everything. Then you walk into, this high demand, sort of hostile environment without really knowing what you're getting into. Um, and it can be quite sort of, it can be quite challenging, and it was for me, to the point where I was actually thinking, should I even go ahead with this? And I think speaking to mentor, speaking to one of my teachers from my MBBS days, and his advice and his encouragement, I think at that point made a huge difference to me. Made me carry on and stay there, and that's how I'm still continuing with orthopedics.
Well, for me, I think personally, when I was in school, I had a physics teacher who used to come to my home because I was a real duffer in physics and I had no understanding of what's going on. But he used to give me private tuitions, and then, but more than teaching physics, his most important part he played in my life at that point of time was to keep me motivated, no matter how badly I scored and how badly I performed in the exams, whatever my rank was in all those mock tests and everything. He was the sole person who had this uh, consistent, unrelenting belief that no matter what you do, you are going to make it. You're going to cross the road. It's a person who could instill that amount of confidence in me at any point, no matter how I was doing, is something that was very, very important. And as his advice has stuck by with me still till today.
That's brilliant. I mean, and I think, again, very similarly as you guys, for me as well. By the way, I'm actually better at physics than you are, than Aditya. Uh, come back to the point. I think I can probably look back, reflect, and recognize different people who've played the role of a mentor all the way from school and even till date today. Uh, and it's been my family at times, it's been friends, it's been colleagues, it's been my teachers, my consultants, and sometimes it's actually been absolute strangers as well, who've just kind of you stumbled upon at that point in life. But one of the ones that I'd like to recount here is, as Anirudh said, when I joined my MS, and I'd probably about second month into it, and I was absolutely struggling. It was very, very difficult environment, very high pressure. You'd been thrown into the deep end, had no clue how to go about it. Self-doubt creeps in. Your self-worth takes a hit, and I almost decided that this was not for me, and I literally uh, was about to quit. And I spoke to one of my teachers from my MBBS days, who happens to be the same one as for Anirudh. At certain Dr. Vivek Pandey, absolute brilliant gentleman and a very, very skilled surgeon. And he was someone who actually, calmed me down, explained to me that what I was feeling was not completely unnatural, and he literally guided me and mentored me through that phase of my life, and continues to be someone I really look up to till date.
The other thing that's important, like this, like I've mentioned, I think uh, the system in education at the moment, right from when I was in my school up till my MS and then postgrad, it's a very, very competitive environment, and it's always instilled into your mind that the end game or the end goal is being number one and coming out on top. But nobody is going to tell you what happens once you've done it all. What happens once you've crossed your exam and you enter your MBBS and there's so many questions. What happens when you've just given your NEET and then you're faced with the big question of what branch to choose? And what happens when you've got your degree? Where do you go from there? You've got your MS degree or your MD degree, whatever, and then uh, where to next in life? At the moment, I think it's a very, very for if you go to a very conservative point of view, then it's a very streamlined process that you do your senior residency and you become professor. But there are more and more options available today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And there's a lot of information that is now available on the internet. But I've found, speaking to a lot of my peers, that information is actually not suited to individual people and their circumstances. So I think it's very important to have guidance which is actually tailored to your need and what you are looking at as as an individual in your career.
And I think that's where this program comes in into place.
Absolutely. I think we've all gone on this, and we realized that there's a acute need for something called a mentor at various stages of your life, something which is not very readily available, um, especially not catered to you as an individual. And that is where I think this whole idea took seed, and it's grown and grown, and it's actually consumed us to the point that we are absolutely convinced that uh, we want to give back what we've had, and we also want to uh, give to people what we didn't have. And we look back and sometimes wonder what if we had had that guidance, that mentorship at the right time. And that is where this mentorship program comes in. So we'll go on to explain a little about what it actually is. So what are you expecting? What to expect from this mentorship program? So, from an introduction point of view, what we want to do is we want to uh, undertake being a mentor for you. And how we want to do this is by getting to know you, understanding who you are, what you're about, what your situation is, understanding your specific barriers, the challenges that you face, the problems of your daily life, what your aspirations are, what is it that you want to achieve, and cater the advice to you as a person and not be very generic.
Yeah, I think it's going to be it's very personalized. What we're going to do is going to help you set some goals in life, uh, get some direction, and track your progress, give checkpoints, help you making an action plan for the next, from the few months to years, depending on what your needs are. And certainly try and provide as much as accurate information with regard to the options that you have, whether you're in MBBS or you're an intern or you're doing your MS, either way.
Yeah, I think what we're trying to do is basically do a more formal and a streamlined approach to mentorship that we've just spoken about, and we'll be able to do this on a personalized one-on-one basis, like Aditya just said. We aim to do this through Zoom Zoom meetings, and then correspondence over email, of course. We aim to sort of set goals mutually. So, short-term, long-term goals, and then, talk about how we need to go about these. And then if at all we need, we can sort of correct course and then move accordingly.
So the idea is that we want to get to know you, understand who you are, what your problems are, take the time to recognize where you are, where you're headed, and how best can you do it. And we hope to do it in a friendly and a very easygoing manner. This is not an exam. This is not pressure. This is we want to help. That is the underlying theme about this, and what we eventually aim to accomplish for you and through you for us as well is personal and professional growth. We want to make sure that you concentrate on self-development. When we say self-development, it's not just in your academics or in your professional life. It's also developing your interpersonal skills, working on growing your hobbies, becoming a better person in life in general, which I think translates into every aspect of your life, and progress in a career, progress in your life, and hopefully be able to take you closer to where you want to be.
That's very well put, Ekansh.
Yeah.
And yeah, anything you guys want to add to this?
No, I think I'll just pick up on the point of that it's not just only professional. I think the background that all of us come from, I think the focus has always been on studies and knowledge, or even in orthopedics, getting to know how to do the surgery. But after coming here, you realize that interpersonal skills are so important. When you're in the operating theater, you have to have that sort of communication where where you're demanding that sort of leadership. You have 5 people who have to listen to you to be able to get the job done. I think from the background that we guys come from, that part of life is often neglected. And I think it's something that we can pick up on through this program as well.
Absolutely. And I mean, so you can see, I mean, we're extremely, extremely excited to do this. It's something which is very close to all our hearts, and we really want to, give back what we've learned and grow in the process with you. And if this actually sounds interesting to you and you want to know more, please drop an email at the email address mentioned below, which is yourmentor121@gmail.com. Also, it'd be great if you can send us a bit of a background about who you are, whereabouts in your professional career you're at, where do you want to get to, what are your aspirations. We really want to get to know you and hopefully be able to help you.
Absolutely.
Anything you guys want to say before we wrap it up?
I think that's exactly, you've summated everything very, very well. It's a gist of what we're planning to do, and this will be done over the course of next few meetings over Zoom, as you mentioned, and we can obviously chalk out a pathway for whatever you're looking for, and manage and make some goals and manage expectations.
Absolutely. We're extremely excited to have Anirudh on board with us. We know it's his first video, and we hope that he'll become a more consistent uh, face on this channel with us. And we hope to keep expanding, keep doing better work. We'll have more videos coming out touching on several other topics we have in mind. As always, our email addresses are down there in the link. You know, feel free to drop in, ask any questions, and yeah, hopefully you guys all have a very good New Year's. Happy 2021.
Yeah, from my side as well.
All the best for the new year.
All right, thank you guys.